I went for a very early walk. I was thinking all kinds of things when I was out on my walk, and I so wanted to share them with you. And so I do believe I might take you with me on a walk one of these days. I was out there and it was way early, as I said, and so I walk up to what is a high school, and there are all these cars and buses and everything out there, trying to get to school at the appointed time. And I thought, this universe does have a cosmic sense of humor that is rather off the wall, perhaps, because I spent 4 years of my growing into adulthood time avoiding being on the track at that high school. It was perhaps my number one priority. And here I am, having achieved the laudatory state of adulthood, still living by that high school. And what do? I walk up to the track every day and walk back home. Now, I will say I don't walk on the track, even though I could. I just see it. It's there, smiling at me, kind of thinking to itself, ha 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 ha, see, there's that sense of humor that's everywhere. And I just had no idea life was as humorous an experience when I was growing up. But anyway, there I was, just having the opportunity to inhale a whole lot of fumes from buses, and watching buses nearly collide with cars, and people driving to school with smiles on their faces. And I was thinking to myself, I really prefer to walk a little later in the morning. And when I'm out there, I'm enjoying the trees and the silence and the lack of buses. And maybe if I'm real quiet someday, I can see the fairies. Maybe it's just me and the fairies out there later in the day, that not even the fairies come out early when there's so much traffic. Except that I really have never seen a fairy, and if I did, I don't know what I'd do. I might just have to sit down and feel as though I were having an attack of some kind. But I do know that there are people who see them and who believe in them, and I certainly can't say one way or another. I will say, though, that after I had a particularly bad haircut one day, someone told me I looked like a sprite. So maybe it's just people citing fairies when they're really people who paid money to have their hair turned into something rather bizarre. So I don't know, but as I said, I didn't see any fairies or sprites, but I did see many buses, and some had greyhounds painted on them. And as an artist, I will say that that greyhound looked like something that had died. And so I think that the way we commercialized our exteriors, maybe we need to spend a little more time with that. You may have noticed that I'm sort of rambling here, but I got up very, very early, and somehow I'm not quite conversant in the conversation of the day today of good morning, did you sleep well, isn't it a beautiful day, I have to go to the grocery store because I think that peaches are on sale. I just didn't get up into that world. I got up into this world of how can this connect to that, and who knew, and oh my goodness, I was freed by all of my expectations and languages of the day-to-day, and I just floated on down that street up to that track, saw it, acknowledged it, and turned around and exercised the freedom of adulthood to walk away from that track and not set one foot on it. So here I am talking to you about possibly nothing, but there have been at least one television show that was all about nothing, and I'm not sure if something oftentimes later on doesn't become nothing, either because we don't remember it or because some other something comes up and turns it into something that's nothing.